It's build day.
Hey.
We're gonna build stuff out of Legos.
Yep.
It is build
Well,
day.
we have hopes and dreams.
By the time you're listening to this, you may or may not have watched a keynote. Presuming the stream works, unlike the Windows 11 launched stream, but that's water under the lawn.
Wow.
I mean, come on, like they even
Some institutional memory right there.
like that one's not going away. Only because of Paul Thurrott can verify this, and any other media press people can verify this. They emailed us and said there's going to be 2 streams for the Windows 11 thing. There's going to be the public stream and then the private press stream, just to make sure it doesn't go down. And both of them collapsed under the weight of 3 people. So,
yeah, apparently the internet is a series of very thin PVC pipes. Somebody stepped on it or something. I don't know.
Anyways, build today. There's stuff.
Yeah, I've been because I've been writing about this. Build began in 2011, 12, somewhere in there.
Yes.
As a replacement for PDC, and ostensibly for other developer shows like Mix and WinHack, maybe.
I forgot about Mix. Yeah,
maybe
back when they cared about Internet Explorer.
Yeah, and Mix was a cool show for 2 years, and anyway, Windows was the highlight. Windows was the beginning. That was all anyone cared about, and then there was other stuff, and Azure came in part of it, and now it's kind of reversed, right? Microsoft is a cloud computing supergiant, and Azure's the show, and
it is.
Everything else plays a supporting role. But there's a lot of developer stuff, dude. It's like Maui's happening. There's Power Platform stuff, which is huge. No code, low code, and Windows. Sort of. The problem for Windows is there's no real major news. It's not like there are major new APIs in Windows 11 that anyone cares about or knows about.
Paul, are you telling me that developers later this year, not today, will soon be able to build widgets, and that's not a major new? I was thinking about this.
There's loop components.
I was thinking about this. So
Microsoft
will announce today that third-party developers can build widgets. Great. We kind of figured that was coming.
What's
because
the tech behind this?
Adaptive cards.
Yeah, which is web-based in a way, right?
Yeah.
JSON kind of stuff.
Isn't that just developed from live tiles? Isn't that where that started?
I was going to say, you can draw it's not a straight line because there are gaps, but the active desktop stuff that you referenced in that channel bar.
Yep.
The sidebar in Windows Vista and briefly in Windows XP added after the fact. They got rid of the sidebar in Windows 7, but you could put those things on the desktop. Remember in Windows 7, they got rid of that in Windows 8. And then Windows 10, Windows 10 had live tiles, which, not web-based, but, is sort of in the same category. And now in Windows 11, they've gotten rid of live tiles. And so gadgets or widgets or whatever we're calling them this year are back. And it's web technology. I mean, it's interesting how this idea keeps resurfacing.
Well, Paul, the big innovation here, is there
a big one?
Is that it comes in from the left side instead of the right side.
That's true.
They really they really
did change it dramatically from Windows 10.
They did. So keep that in mind. I mean, when you say innovation is
how
dead.
Long ago was Active Desktop? That had to have been still the 90s, right? It was late 90s, so 97-ish, somewhere in there.
Yep.
This is 25 years ago, dude.
So here's a thought. I don't whatever. So, to me, and I could be wrong here. Once you get past weather, stocks, you're on a desktop. I mean, from a position of I support a team that builds apps for Windows, apps, whatever we're gonna call them today, apps for Windows that customize, do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Why should we build a widget? And I say this only because this becomes another...
Right. Well, okay.
This is another point of support that we have to do. And keep in mind, this user is already on the desktop. They already have a mouse, a keyboard. They have a browser, the most powerful PC OS on the planet.
Yep. So I'm going to do something. I don't think it's for a company like yours.
Yeah.
Content creators might want to get in there.
Paul Thurrott.
What's that?
Then who is it for? Knowledge.
Well, I mean, maybe you're Condé Nast or Yahoo or New York Times or something like that. I'm gonna briefly defend this for a moment, and then
Please.
we're gonna move on. The problem with live tiles in Windows 10 was that they were hidden. Like live tiles were an at-a-glance interface for getting sort of insight into what was going on in the app, email notifications, calendar items, whatever. It's the type of thing that makes sense when you pick up a device and it's there. You know, like the problem with the start menu was that it wasn't always there. Okay. Widgets are a little different because we are used to doom scrolling on our devices. And I think the rationale for it, I'm just devil's advocating it here, is Microsoft understands that people will check out for a moment and scroll through Instagram, scroll through Facebook, scroll through whatever they scroll through, TikTok, whatever it is. And maybe they lose time and they're gone for a while and they do whatever they do. And there's no real interface for that on Windows other than opening a browser and going to a play, or maybe you have the app version. So I don't know. People do, but I guess it solves that. I don't want to call it a problem.
Maybe.
Because honestly, I think doom scrolling is the problem. But it's in our ever distracted lives, it's this distraction. And if it works well, we'll get lost in it. And if it works really well, we'll click on stuff and it'll get traffic to the services that they own. And I'm not.
I will buy that argument.
Yeah, I don't like it. You know,
I mean, I think it would make sense a lot too on tablets. Like it's maybe not a desktop driven scenario.
Swipe in, is that what you do? You swipe in from the side, right? And it comes up, and then you can, it's just what I said. I mean, it's do a lot of people use tablets? With Windows, probably not. Honestly, I mean, the people who do, I'm sure, love it. Yeah.
Maybe that's where it is. I mean,
maybe just cut this part out.
Yeah, I think we'll just. So if you're wondering why there was just a gap there, Paul, just cut that out.
Let's just put it this. Actually, here's the simplest explanation. Brad and I actually looked at widgets, and that was our mistake. We should never have done that.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
We'll just.
That's what's wrong with it, right there.
Yeah. We'll just
snip that, right?
Anyways, there's a new Project Volterra, which. I love Microsoft's phrasing here. I love this phrasing. Paul, quick refresher. How long has Windows on ARM been around?
Well, it depends on how you want to measure it. 2012 was the first iteration with Windows 8, and then they brought it back in 2016 or 17 probably. So
Microsoft's words here. Project Volterra and a comprehensive ARM native developer toolchain, unlike that junk you've been using previously. I might have ad-libbed a little there on the end.
Well, okay. I applaud the porting. This is happening after the show, I take it? This is what you're doing? We've decided we're going to talk about stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I applaud them bringing Visual Studio, .NET, and the .NET framework to native .NET. I mean, to native ARM, rather. I think it's fair to say that 100% of developers will do their development on an Intel or AMD box, right? I just know, why wouldn't they? It's the performance. Everything's going to be so much better. But, that's cool. I mean, I suppose you have a secondary device. You want to bring it up there. Look at the ARM. I don't know. I don't anticipate ARM being the focus for that.
Yeah.
But nothing wrong with it. That's fine. That's fine.
Either way, it's a more open hardware platform for AI capabilities and programming and development for ARM. If that is making you excited, then you can look forward to that. One of the other interesting things, I guess, is they're taking down. I guess there was a list or a wait if you wanted to submit your Win32 app to the Microsoft Store.
That's right.
No longer, they're just come on down to the Price is Right. Pretty much is where we're.
Yeah, that's everything. It's straight up Win32, .NET, WPF, WinForums, React, whatever else is in there that I've forgotten. Anything that's a desktop environment is now fully supported in the Microsoft Store. Yes.
Amazon App Store, new regions. If that's,
I'm waiting for some clarification on that bit of news. It's coming to new countries. 5 new countries. How many countries in the world? Doesn't matter.
I was about to answer that, but no, you cut me off. It's fine. It's fine.
More than 5.
Yep.
And the Microsoft release that I got said there were thousands of apps, and there are not thousands of apps. There are not even hundreds of apps. There are dozens of apps, and most of them are really what I would call B or C level games that nobody should ever even look at. So realistically speaking, there are fewer than 15 tier A apps, I will call them.
Mm-hmm.
United Airlines, Washington Post, Kindle, stuff like that. But thousands, apparently. It's the same number system they use to determine that Windows 11 has the highest satisfaction rating and is being deployed in businesses faster than any version of Windows. It's the same. It's that Microsoft math.
Struggle with that because let's just, Paul, you
have
may
a
have
fan in
remembered an OS called Windows 8. You may have remembered this one.
Yeah. Yep.
Microsoft is telling us that people are upgrading faster to Windows 11 than they were. Like, there's a great little Johnny Depp meme of him as Captain Jack Sparrow. Like, the ship is sinking, and he just steps off onto the dock. That ship sinking was Windows 8, and people were just jumping off onto the dock of Windows 10.
Yeah. On a related note, I would say there was also a little OS release called Windows Vista that businesses skipped en masse. And when Windows 7 arrived, they started upgrading at, for them, a very fast rate. That was clearly the fastest uptick of business upgrades that's ever occurred. And yet they're making a similar claim for Windows 11. So how do you explain this? We have to get imaginative here. For the business one that I just mentioned, it's possible that at this point in time, more business users numerically have upgraded to Windows 7 in that time frame, but maybe the market is bigger, and as a percentage, it's probably still smaller. Maybe. But the thing you mentioned, this is inconceivable.
My guess, here's my guess.
They made Windows 10 available for nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Windows 11.
They even had a counter, remember?
Yeah.
A live counter that wasn't public, but like anybody in Microsoft could see it and we could all just look at it, whatever. Here's my guess. I bet they are looking at new device purchases.
Well, that's interesting because among the hard numbers Microsoft has never revealed, numbers of Windows 11 licenses sold to direct customers or PC Maker partners.
Yep.
Number of PCs sold with Windows 11 on them. Number of people who have Windows 10 and have upgraded to Windows 11 through Windows Update. There's not a hard number anywhere, not even one. And I don't, this kind of stuff. This is like you have a company that lives in, especially this part of the company that lives and dies on telemetry data. They're all about the data. But when they communicate to the public, they just cherry pick the most bizarre, vague proclamations. I don't even, it is the almost, it's the weirdest turnaround. This is the anti-Terry Myers scenario. It is in many ways a return to the Windows 8 stuff. Although, by the way, they did talk hard numbers with Windows 8. I mean, that was the thing they did. They released milestone numbers. There was the number after 30 days. There was 30 million, 40, 60, 100 million in the first year, whatever the numbers were. I don't remember exactly, but several numbers. And here we are 10 years later. Nothing. Not even one.
Something.
I know. It's not. The thing is, the message here is good. Microsoft can say Windows 10 and 11 are both excellent. We're in a great place. This is not like the Vista transition or the Windows 8 transition. This is a good place for everybody to be in. And instead, you've got people that for some reason just want to promote the latest version, which again is very much like the Snofsky era. It's a kind of a not invented here mentality. Like, let's just focus on our stuff because that other stuff was crap. And it's like, well, that other stuff wasn't crap. That's kind of the problem.
Yeah.
Anyways,
build today. There's a keynote. By the time you're listening to this, it'll have already played through. You can go check out the sessions. There'll be more to come, but not from this podcast because I got to travel starting tomorrow.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah.
So we're done for the week.
We are done.
Yeah.
I'll be back next week for a full week, and then I'm on vacation.
Oh. Is this like an island getaway kind of a thing?
It is. This is unlike the last one. This is a go drink, fruity tropical drinks on the beach.
Right. When's that happening? What's the date?
Early June.
June, yeah. Nice.
So,
okay.
yeah. And then that's the sad part is like that's our last vacation for the year. Like that's like we do spring vacations in our house just because spring break a kid and then
it's
kick off
nice
summer.
to be around during the summer, honestly.
And then the summer is summer, and then the fall is fall, and the winter is winter, and I'm just really nailing it.
Speaking of winter, here's a white screen.